Thanks for downloading the video. Before we get into it, I just want to say this one thing. If you are one of those people who just go on YouTube and just keep on downloading instructional after instructional, but you never actually sit down and work on these things, I just want to ask you just this one time, just try out these things, because that's the real only way that you will make progress. And the thing is, the rest of the videos, it will still be there, like the YouTube videos and things will still be there when you're done. So just take a little time and learn these things, and you'll see that these things will come into your playing, and it will definitely enhance your playing, and it will take it to that next level. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's do this. So the first thing I want to get into is the pentatonic scale. Now I know some of you might know this already, but for those of you who don't, I just want to run through it quickly, because everything else we're going to do in terms of runs will be based off of this. So it's crucial that you understand this. Okay. So the pentatonic is made essentially out of 5 notes. Okay. So we're gonna do everything we're doing in the key of C. Okay. In the key of C, you have your major scale. Okay. Out of the major scale, we remove the 4 and the 7. Okay. So you don't play the 4, you play the 5, you play the 6, and you don't play the 7, and then back to the 1. So those are basically the notes in the pentatonic scale. So what that is, C, D, E, G, A, and back to C. Okay. And yeah, that's the notes of the pentatonic scale. Now, the run that I want to show you is a very commonly used one. It's just a descending pentatonic scale. So what we learned now was the ascending pentatonic scale. That's from the bottom. That's the ascending pentatonic scale. But the one I want to show you is the descending pentatonic scale. So that one, you play it from the top. So you play from the 1, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So those are the notes. So that's C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E, D, C. Okay. So those are the notes of the pentatonic scale, and we're going to play those notes in that order that I just showed you. Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is practice that really slowly. Okay. And then afterwards, you'll get faster and faster. And once you can reach a faster speed, you'll realize that this scale is very flexible. So you can use it over a whole lot of things. And you can use it over almost every degree of the scale. So you can use it over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can use it over any of those notes. Okay. So over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 3, 4. So that's the pentatonic scale that I want to show you. Okay, so now I want to show you the ascending pentatonic scale. but we're not gonna play it straight, meaning we're not gonna play. Okay, we're gonna play a slightly different version of that, and what that will be is we're gonna split the run up in 2 sets, okay, of 2 little groups, basically, using these 3 fingers, using your thumb, your index finger, and your middle finger. Okay, so the first group that you will be playing with these 3 fingers is G, A, and C. So that's your 5, 6, your 1. And the reason why I give it in numbers is so that you can kind of use this concept in any other key. So if I say the first 3 notes is 5, 6, 1, that means if you are used to playing in C sharp, or you want to take that concept to C sharp, you do the same thing. You go 5, 6, 1. So if you think in numbers, it's way easier to transpose your ideas. So anyway, just a little side note. So back to C. So the first set, G, A, C. Okay, that's the first set. So the second set is D, E, G, or your 2, your 3, and the 5. Okay, so those are the 2 sets that you're going to be playing together. Okay, one after the other. So you start with the first one, your 5, 6, 1, and then you go 2, 3, 5, and then you do the same thing, go I and for as long as your keyboard is. So okay, so those are the notes that you will be playing. But there's something that I want to add, like a little thing that you need to do sometimes, just to give it that certain flavor that we're looking for this particular run. So what that is so that's actually very simple, because I played the whole thing now, but all you need to think about is when you play the 5, the 6, and the 1, all I want you to do is add the 5, 6 after you do 5, 6, 1. Then you go 5, 6. So that's 5, 6, 1, 5, 6. Okay. So 5, 6, 1. First set, second set, 2, 3, 5. And now when we do the first set again, we're gonna do that little alternate thing. So that's okay. And then you go back to the second set. Second set. Okay. So that's the whole run. So I'm gonna play the whole thing through now slowly. Okay. So you can kind of choose when you want to use that. You can choose when you want to do that. So that's basically, that's the runs, that's how it goes. And this is similar to the first descending pentatonic scale we learned. So you can kind of use this in the same way you would use the other one, which is over anything. So you can use it over the 1, your 2, your 3, your 4, your 5, your 6, it doesn't really matter. So that's over 3. So try that run out and let me know how it goes, guys. Now, the third thing that I want to get into, that's a little bit more difficult. But like anything, if you start slowly. You can play these things with speed later on. So this run, it's based off of the pentatonic scale. So it has all the notes of the pentatonic scale and it uses a concept within the pentatonic scale. Okay, so like just a quick recap. So pentatonic scale 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and back to 1. Okay. Now, before we get into the lick, I just want to quickly talk about harmony. Okay, like harmonizing a scale. Harmonizing a scale, if you look at your major scale, okay, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Anytime you want to play a harmony, all you do is you skip a note. So let's say, for example, you want to harmonize with the 1. All you need to do is you go down, that's your 7, and you go down another note in the scale, 6. That's a harmony, right? Which basically means there needs to be a note within the scale between the two notes. So the note between the scale in this case is your 7. So you play your 6, you skip the 7, and you play the 1. If you want to play the 2, you play the 7, you skip the 1, and you go to the 2. Which means there always needs to be a scale note between the two notes that you're playing. So if you're playing a 1, you need to skip a note and then play the 3. Okay, so that's how harmony works. So the reason why I wanted to discuss harmony is because you're going to harmonize the pentatonic scale. Okay, so you're going to play harmonies within the pentatonic scale. So we want to start with the 5. Okay, so the next note in the scale would be your 3. But remember, we want to harmonize, so we need to skip the 3. We need to go to the 2. Okay, so we're going to play these two together. So we're harmonizing these two notes in the pentatonic scale. And now, here on out, we're going to play a certain pattern. And what that pattern is, it's a harmony with these two fingers, like the Spider-Man thing, you know, that web thing. So it's your pinky and the index finger. Play those two together. Okay, and then the next sequence in this move is playing the next note of the pentatonic scale, which is in this case C, because we're already playing the G and the D. So the next lower note is the C. So whatever your lowest note is, in this case our D, you think about what's the next note in the pentatonic scale going down. In our case, it's C. And then you play the C, and then you play the next two notes in the pentatonic scale with these two fingers, with your index finger and your thumb. So that's okay. So that sequence we're gonna follow. Okay, and I'll show you. The concept is very simple. It just might take a little bit longer just to get that muscle memory in there. But let's say like I said, we're starting on the G, so the highest note is G. We harmonize that note with the D, and then we play the next 3 notes in the pentatonic scale. So let's play that together. Next 3 notes. Okay. Now that part is done. Now the idea what you need to do now is look for the next highest note in the pentatonic scale. So we already played the G. Now we need to go to the next lower note, which is in the pentatonic scale is E, because the pentatonic scale goes C, D, E, G. So now the next one is E. So the first one was G. Now we're gonna go G, E. Now use the same idea that we just discussed. So you take the highest note, harmonize it, and then you play the next 3 notes in the pentatonic scale. Okay, so the first one, you go to the next highest note, and then you do that same concept over and over, going as far as you want. You go back down. So you take the highest note, go the next one, Now the next higher note will be the D, and then you do the same thing. Same idea. Okay, so I'll just give you those notes. I just wanted you to understand the concept. And once you understand the concept, I can run through the notes fast because you understand how it works now. So the first one is G, D, and you go C, A, G. The next one is C and E, and then you go A, G, E. The next one is A and D, and then you go G, E, D. Next one is C and G, and then you go E, D, C. Next one, E and A, then you go D, C, A, and then you're back to the G. And then you just keep on repeating that as you go down. So. Once you have the speed down, you can then you can start experimenting with this thing, and then you can try it over anything just to see how it sounds. It's gonna work for most of the scale degrees. It's gonna work for 3. It should work for 6. All that kind of that whole thing. But you need to kind of experiment and develop your own flavor, like when you. Yeah, so just play around with it and come up with ideas of your own. Let me know if you find like another unique way to use that idea over other things. Like for example, if that concept should work over any other scale. So just think about that. We're in the last run now. Okay. Afterwards, we're gonna start moving into some chord stuff. Now this run also is based off of the pentatonic scale, and it has the same uses as the other ones. So you can try it over anything. And if you come up with nice ideas, let me know. Send me your videos. I would love to see these. And let's get into it. So this one is a bit more complex. Okay. And by complex, I don't mean difficult. Okay. I just mean, like if you look at the descending pentatonic scale, you're basically playing the same thing over and over. You're playing this over and over and going down. So that's simple. The idea is simple. But so when I say complex, I mean it's not just one idea that you're playing. You're playing like 3 different ideas and you combine them together. Okay. But that doesn't make it difficult. That just means it's integrated. It's more than one. It's like a combination. So I'm going to teach you the few combinations that makes up this run. And I do suggest that you learn these combos one by one. Don't learn. Look, this is the lick. Alright? There's a lot of things going on there. It sounds like there's a lot of things going on there, but not really. I'm just repeating about 3 patterns. I'm just playing like 3 patterns, right? And what I want you to do is learn each one of them one by one and then just combine it. Okay? So see it as individual runs that you're combining. And then it simplifies things and it makes it easier and easier to remember as well. Okay, so the first run within the run is your 5, 6, 1. Okay. and then you come back down to the 6/5. Okay, and then you play 3, 2, 1. So that's basically a descending pentatonic scale. Like you go up to the C and then you come back with a descending pentatonic scale. Okay. That's the first one. And as you can see, it's actually simple. If you look at it like that, if you break it down like that, and then, like I said, you can just combine it later. Okay. Now, that's the first part. The second part. That's the second part. So what that is, you play the 2 and the 6 together. Okay. And while you're playing this, you go from the 2 to the 3. So you go from the D to the E. Okay. And then you go to the 1. And then the 2. 1. Okay, so that is without the higher note. I just want to show you this melody that you're actually playing. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Okay, so that's D, E, C, D, 1. So that's the melody that you're playing. But you're kind of keeping the 6 when you play this whole thing with your with these 3 fingers. Then you keep the 6 with your pinky and then you do that. Okay, so that's the second part. So the first part, second part. You see, it's quite simple. You see how simple it is if you kind of break it down into parts. So now I just learned that part till you get it right. And now the third part. Is 6, 5, and then you go to 1, and then you play the descending pentatonic scale. So that's 6, 5, A, G, and you go C, A, G, E, D, C, or 1, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. So, but the first thing you do is 6, 5. And then you basically play the descending pentatonic scale starting from the C. So if you want to combine those, that's the first one, second one, third one. And now all you need to do is learn each one until you're comfortable with it, and then combine it together, but start by playing it slowly together and then increasing the speed. So you start by and then obviously increasing the speed. So now we're gonna start getting into some chords. Okay. And the first one I want to show you is a diminished movement that you can use. Okay. To get your 2. So in the key of C, C is your 1, D is your 2. C is a major chord, D is a minor chord. To get to a minor chord, a common chord that you can use is a diminished chord. Okay. To get to your 2 minor. So okay. So what that diminished chord is, the notes are G, B flat, D flat, and E. Okay. But we want to take the D flat out and play it at the bottom. Okay. So you're still playing the same diminished chord, but you just took the D flat, played it in your left hand. Okay. So now that's the basic idea. That's the foundation of what we're doing. But we're gonna build a little bit on top of that. Okay. So if you look at the notes, what I want you to do is the left hand, you're gonna play it up semitone higher, and this 3 chord note that you're playing in your right hand, you take the second note and you play it up a semitone as well. Okay, so that's gonna be your first chord, and then you take these down after. Okay, so that's to the 2. Okay. And now, one more thing that we're gonna add is we're not just gonna play the D in your left hand, you're gonna walk down to the D from the E. So okay, so that's E, E flat, D, and when you play the D, that's when you play this chord. So E, E flat, and then you do the diminished thing to your 2. Oh, that's another thing you can add. Like once you can kind of play the chord broken up, as in you can kind of do an arpeggio kind of thing. So you go G, E flat, E. So the whole thing slow. The next thing I want to show you is just a chord. Like there's nothing fancy you're gonna do with the chord, nothing. You're just gonna play the chord. But it's a very commonly used chord that adds some ugliness to your playing. Why would I want to add something ugly? Because ugly is nice. Okay, so sometimes ugly is nice. So if you're playing a whole lot of pretty stuff, it's nice sometimes just to throw in this, this ugly chord. So what that chord is, we're gonna do it over the 1. Okay, and the use of this chord is to get you to the 4. So it's like a passing chord to get you from your 1 to the 4. Okay, so anytime you want to go from the 1 to the 4, you can use this chord. Okay, so what it is, there's a lot of notes that's not in the scale, and that's what makes it so ugly. Okay, because it plays notes that plays like your C sharp and your F sharp, which is not in the key, so it gives it like a dissonant sound. So what it is, in your right hand, you play the 6 or whatever key you're in, and you're playing the second inversion of that chord. Okay. In our case, it's your E, A, C. Okay, you start off with that, right? And now you need to add 2 notes. And what that is, if you know what your a minor third is. So in the key of C, a third would be E, and a minor third would be E flat. So if I say a minor third, I'm just meaning flat your third. So if you look at the semitones of a minor third, it's, so from the C you play 1, 2, 3. So it's like 3 semitones above, or 1, 2, 3. See, 3 semitones below whatever it is you're playing, right? Or 1, 2, 3. Or if you want to come from E flat down, 1, 2, 3. That's how you play the minor third. Okay, so from the 6 that we're playing, the second inversion, you take these 2 notes, the 2 bottom notes, and play the minor thirds from these 2. So in the top case, That's the chord you're gonna be playing. That's one way of looking at it. Or you can say you play your 6 and then you add your flat 5 and your flat 2. Okay, so whatever's easiest for you to remember. And your left hand, you play your C and you play your B flat. So if you look at it, we're playing 3 notes that's not in the key. I know it sounds ugly, but trust me, this thing can sound beautiful. So try that out as a passing chord to get you a 4. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is another passing chord of sorts to get to your 4. It's not as commonly used though, but it just gives you like a few more options to get to your 4. Okay, so what it is, it's essentially you're going from the flat 3 to the 4. Okay. And over that flat 3, you play E flat, B flat. Okay, so you're basically playing like a E flat power chord. And in your right hand, you're playing the B flat and the D and the F. Okay. So what that is, if you want to look at it in terms of numbers, in your left hand, you're playing your flat 3. In your right hand, you're playing your flat 7 root position, okay, to the 4. Okay, so that's not what it sounds like. But we're gonna add just something small to that, and what that is over the B flat major chord or the flat 7 major chord. You can do this little thing where you play the C and the F, and then so you play those 2 notes, and then you go B flat D. So that's C F B flat D. Almost like a Disney kind of thing. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do over the B flat. So while you're playing flat 3 in your left hand, you can do this little thing in your right hand and then go to the 4. The next chord I want to show you is something that you can do over the 1 when you're playing your 3 melody. Okay, so basically anytime you play this chord, your second inversion, so that's your G, your C, and your E, you can substitute it with what I'm about to show you. Okay. So this chord is E, octave E. Okay, so and then you add your A and your B. So you add your 6 and your 7. You play your 3 octave, you add your 6 and your 7. Okay. In your left hand, you can play the C and your G. So the power chord. Right? So that's the chord you can substitute. Anytime you play this one, you can play that one instead. But we're gonna add something to that. And what that is you're gonna walk down from your 7 to you're gonna walk down half steps from your 7. So that's 7, flat 7, 6. And before you do that, you can do a slide from the 6 to the 7. So that's 6, and then you use your middle finger to flat 7 to the 7. Okay, and once you do that, you come down from the 7 to the 6, So. Okay. Now you do the same thing with your left hand. You're gonna play the 7, flat 7, 6. Okay. And now, before you do that, you come with your left hand from the G. You do like a walk up from the G, or from the 5, 5, 6, and when you get to the 7, that's when you go. So. So you walk. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so the next thing is something that you can do over the 6. Okay, it's like a substitution that you can use over the 6. And what it is your 6 is usually your A minor, right? So in the key of C, your 6 is A minor. So anytime you play the A minor or anytime you play the 6, you can use this little move that I'm about to show you. And what it is, it's like a little lick over the 6. Okay, but it's like a substitute for the 6. So what that is A, C. You play the D and your 8 together. So you play your 2 and your 6 together. And then, whilst keeping that A on top, you go from the D to the E. Okay. Back to the D. Okay, so that's D, E, D. And now you're gonna do like this little grace note thing, which is D, E flat, D, C. D flat, D, E flat, D, C. So the first thing is D, E, and you go to the D, E flat, D, C. So it's all good. But you're doing this whole thing whilst keeping the 6 on top. So if you can remember, it's similar to that other lick, the pentatonic lick that I showed you previously, where you keep the 6 there while you're doing like a little melody. So that's the melody, and then you keep the pinky there the whole time while you're doing that. And the first 2 notes to get there, that's it. So and then you go. That's what it sounds like over the 6. In your left hand, it's your 6, 3, 6, or 7. So it depends on your stretch. If you can play the B, you can add the B. So it's A, E. So it's A, E, A and B, and then that's over the 6. Okay, so we're on to the last one, guys. We're on to the last little thing I want to show you. Now this move you play over the 4 minor. So anytime you do like a like a 4 minor, you can use this little thing that I'm about to show you. It's got like a little jazzy feel to it. So what it is it's substitution for the 4 minor. So anytime you, like I said, anytime you want to do that, you can do this instead. And left hand, E flat, G, A flat, C, E flat, G, A flat, C. Okay, so that's the first chord you play in your left hand. The second chord you play in your left hand is basically you just drop the pinky down a half step. Okay, so you go. Okay, so that's it. That's for your left hand. Okay, your right hand is a little melody that you need to learn. Okay, so the next melody that I want to show you, before I play that melody, I want you to think of melodies as little songs. Because if you think about it, you know a lot of songs, and all it is, like for example, that's a song, we know it as Amazing Grace, but that could also be like a melody in a run that you could have memorized. So which means it's that simple to learn a run. You think of it as a little song, and if you approach it that way, you can learn a whole lot of runs or little songs that you can put in within your music. So the one melody we're gonna learn is, first note is G, but to get to the G, you do like a slide from the F sharp, G. Okay, that's the first note, and then you go B flat, okay, and from the B flat you walk down like half steps to the G, to the A flat. So okay, and once you play the A, come to the A flat, you play the E flat up higher, the high E flat. So okay, okay, and once you're done with that E flat, you come G, but when you play the G, you do F, G. So and then from the G, the A flat, G, and that's it. That's a melody. That's a melody you need to learn. And I just want to give you those notes again. So it's G, B flat, A flat, E, G, A flat, G, F. Okay. That's the melody in your right. And now you just need to combine that with those two chords that I showed you. So you first play the chord and then you go. When you hit the F, that's when you drop. Play that second left-handed chord. So that's it, guys. Those are the everything I wanted to show you. Now I'll try and play a song and utilize all those things. Like I said, try. I don't know if it's gonna come out or if it's gonna sound natural when I do it, because I think it might be a bit too much for one song, everything in one song. But I'll still, just so that you can get an idea of places where you can use it. I think we can do Falling in Love with Jesus. Okay, so Excuse me for all the mistakes there. I wasn't planning on. I didn't plan on what I was gonna play, so that, and I was trying to force to play these things in, um, put all of them in. But I think you get the idea. Um, but I think you get the idea. Once you have some of these down, I would love to see like videos or hear like clips of you guys actually doing some of these things. If you have any comments or feedback, please let me know. And if there's anything that you don't quite still understand and you want me to break it down even further or show you more applications for the different things, please let me know. Send me an email and I'll get back to you. And that's it, guys. Thank you. God bless. Bye bye.